I'm Lanikia, and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is General Hospital Edition. Today is Wednesday, April the 12th, 2023. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to have to give this one, it was an 8. It was solid. General Hospital has been solid really this whole year. There have been a few episodes that were letdowns, but for the most part, it's good. We see that the ladies have come over to support Willow and Michael after hearing the news about Liesel and just letting her know that they're there to support her. Michael goes away so that they can talk, and they tell Willow, like, what's going on? What are you really feeling? And she says, I have to be strong for Michael. And they said, no, Willow, Michael's been through some things. So you don't have to be strong for him. He loves you. He's been through, traumas in his own life that he's dealt with, and he can multitask. He can, because she wants to have this wedding now. And she said, but won't that signal to Michael that I'm giving up? And they're like, no, no, that won't signal to him that you're giving up. He loves you, and he's going to support you and be with you through this whole experience. And so she's like, okay, yeah, I guess she gets it or whatever. So, anyways, child. Then we go over here and we see Jordan, Gladys, and Dante. I said, Gladys, we don't have time for your conniving ass. We don't have time for you, ma'am. She over here, she trying to make sure Cody goes to jail. Because I said, Gladys, okay, it's one thing for you to plant the evidence on him, but now I want to give my statement. Let me give my statement. Baby, Jordan looked at Gladys and kept on talking to that other officer. That officer came up, and Jordan, and she was like, I don't have time for this. And so then Michael. So then Dante is just like, Gladys, everyone's innocent until proven guilty. She said, don't y'all want to get statements why it's still fresh on my mind? Not from you. They don't believe Cody did this, is what I'm getting. And even if they do believe he did this, they're like, we got Valentine has run amok around here. We don't have time for you, ma'am. And so, anyways, Dante goes in with Cody and he says, you can't stay out of trouble and everything. And Cody said, I didn't do this. And he said, well, talk to me. And Cody lets him know that I already got somebody coming to help me. He said, who? Here comes Sam. He said, I need you to get me out. But Dante ends up leaving because Sam tells him, go and check on what everything, did I say Valentine? I'm sorry, I meant Victor. Everything that Victor has going on, go and check on that. And I'll handle this. She said, because Cody called, he was, scared and whining over. He said, now listen, I ain't say all that. I didn't use that tone, but he sits down with Sam and he tells her, I'm innocent. She said, I said that a few times when I knew I was guilty. He said, no, but I really am innocent this time. And he was like, he won't tell her. He just tell all he keeps talking in code. He was like, Sasha needs to watch who's handling her money. I said, Sam, just look into what Gladys is doing. You know it has to do with Gladys. You know he's saying that she set him up. You know he's saying if it could be trouble if he tells what he has on Gladys. So just look into about the money. That's all you gotta do. Y'all be making stuff more complicated than what it has to be. I'm telling you one thing, you better move this storyline along. And so he won't tell her anything. And she said, why do you care about Sasha so much? And he said, I don't know. We're like friends. I don't know. And honestly, this is the most interesting Cody storyline. I liked Britt. Y'all know I liked Britt, but she and Cody did not match. They didn't. When they were together, they kept trying to force that storyline until they made it kind of boring. They might made it boring, or whatever. But this is not boring to me because Gladys over here acted a darn fool. So then Cody come out because they doing his arraignment, and Sam was like, you haven't gave me a reason to trust that you won't skip town. And he said, because Dante trusts me. He said he does trust me, right? But anyways, they come out and they're gonna do his arraignment. And Gladys said, oh, good. And Sam says, no, he's going to make bail. So I don't know what you thought was going to go on here. She said, oh my gosh, you trust him? Sam don't trust you. That's what that is. She doesn't trust you, ma'am. So then we move right along. and we see Jocelyn and Carly, and Jocelyn was like, "I'm gonna go over to Michael's now," because she doesn't know that Liesl is missing. So then Carly updates her about Spencer, Ace, and Lisa, and she was like, oh my gosh, Willow needs that transplant," and she's worried, and everything. And Carly says, "Calm down." And so around this time, um Dante comes and he's starting to ask them about Trina, and they was like, "What do you mean?" And the last time we saw Trina was at the ball. She was worried about Spencer, so she went after him. And he says, "And you haven't heard from her?" And she said, "No, but I texted her. Let me check my mess." And she said, "Oh my God, my messages were not delivered." And y'all know when somebody, that person's out of range or something is going on, it's not delivering the messages to them. And so now they're worried, and they're like, "Dante, what is going on?" And he says, "Y'all know as much as I know." And they still think that he knows more, but he's like, I'm gonna update you when I find out anything, but right now I don't know more. And they said, what if Victor took Trina, um to get to get him to do it, to get him to do what he wants? And Joss is like, well, actually, Spencer would have, to get Spencer to do what he wants. She said Spencer would have done it anyway. So I don't, they're just confused and they're worried because they haven't seen them. So then Valentine, Anna, and Felicia are talking, and Valentine is stressing out because they haven't had word on Anna in hours. And so he's stressing out about it. So he goes and talks to Portia, right? And she's not the doctor. She's not working on this case. And so she tells him, when they get information, they will come update you. And he said, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear your medical talk and answers and everything. I need you to tell me what's going on. And he started trying to get a little hostile with Portia. I said, oh, wait a minute. Did I call her Jordan earlier? If I did, I'm sorry. I meant Portia. Anyways, he's starting to get a little hostile. And so Curtis came through, right? Because at the hospital, he said, oh, wait a minute, Valentine. You're going to have to deal with me. You keep talking to my wife like that. I said, you better, Curtis. You better tell that man, back it up. Now you feeling all guilty because you got Anna shot by your daddy. That's on you. Don't take that out on Portia. And so, anyways, Portia gets information for them and tells them that Anna's finally out of surgery. It was exceptionally long. It was longer than they thought, but she's in the ICU right now, resting, and she hasn't woke up, so they'll let them know, right? And so Valentine, he goes and he apologizes to Portia for the way he acted, and he tells her, can he see um Anna? And she said, yeah, go ahead and see if you can see her. And so then we see Felicia and Laura talk, and they're wondering um what and then yeah, we see them talk and they're wondering what's going on. Where could Victor have possibly went? And so they said Laura thing, and they had a little flashback of when she was held captive on the Hunted Star. But I think she said at the time it was called the Titan or something like that. And so they had the flashback. It was a nice flash. I like their flashbacks because some shows be having too many. But anyways, so they flashed back to when she was held captive, and she said, where would they be going? And so Felicia said, think about all the different islands that they have. And she said, well, they do have a few, one in Panama, one in this area. She said, but we had one in Venezuela that was really isolated. Like you had to go through the forest, the rainforest to get to it. And I said, oh, y'all going on location? I loved when the soaps used to go on location back in the day. Remember, they always used to get stuck in quicksand or bit by a snake, and the man had to suck the venom out. Oh, child, I said, oh, if y'all go on location, I'm with it. But anyways, they're just like, oh, that could be it, but they don't want to alert the police that might be it if they're not 100% sure. So then Valentine goes in there with and the nurse tells him that Anna, it didn't hit any vital organs, but she's not out of the woods yet because she lost so much blood, and she coded in the on the table. And so Valentine is really concerned because it was like she coded in the ambulance too. And he just goes in there and he tells Anna, I'm gonna make my father pay. I said, when? How many times have we been hearing these people say? They've been saying it over a year. Y'all ain't made Victor pay for nothing. And he tells her just wake up, and at the end Anna woke up, but Valentine doesn't see it yet because he's too busy crying in her hand. So then we see Curtis and Portia, and he asked her about Trina, and she was like, no, I haven't spoke to Trina. I went there last night and she wasn't there, but she didn't come home last night, but maybe because she thought that I was going to be waiting for her there or something. And no, no, no. Jocelyn said that about Trina. But Portia said she knows she didn't go home, but she said, and Trina wouldn't update her on anything because, their relationship is strained. And she said, why are you asking me all this? And Curtis said, I don't want to worry you. She said, too late. And so he lets her know about everything going on with Ace, Spencer, and Liesel. And she's like, oh my gosh. And then she said, let me text her. And she said, Curtis, the text messages are not being delivered. And then she said, he's like, well, it probably is nothing. She said, okay, calls not going through. Okay. But text messages, I'm starting to worry. And so he's trying to calm her down. And then that's when Dante and Jordan come up because they were trying to get more information as well on where Trina is because they thinking that maybe she could tell them more about Victor, and if he took Spencer or where Spencer is. But Portia sees Jordan and Dante and she says, oh no, not Trina. No. I said, girl, yes. And so then we see Trina is with Spencer and she's come back and I said, oh, thank God. And she's telling him that she found a way to get to it, that at about 2 a.m. it was pretty much a ghost ship, so that she feels like they could go to the car room because he doesn't have a lot of people there at that time. And they're like, okay, cool. But he doesn't want her to try to do it again because if my uncle sees you, he would throw you overboard or whatever. And I said, well, based on my ancestors, I wouldn't want to see that. So he's like, okay, well, we're gonna have to figure out something else. But Trina said that is our best option. And around this time, Victor comes in, right? So when Victor comes in, Trina hides under the bed because Spencer told her to hide. She said, where? So he hides under the bed. Now Victor on the outside, and he says, why is this door unlocked? Right? He like, why is this door unlocked? This shouldn't be unlocked. And so um he goes in and Spencer isn't in the room and neither is Trina. I said, well, are they both hiding? And then Spencer come out or whatever in his tile because he ran and pretended he was taking a shower or whatever. And so he comes out and Victor is like, I guess he was relieved to see him because he was like, oh, well, he didn't escape. And he said, you know, how have you been enjoying it? He said, you hadn't had me locked up in the room all night or whatever. And so they get to talking. And Trina has left her purse where you can see it. So she's trying to reach for her purse, but she can't get to it because Victor is standing around in that area. And I guess Spencer sees the purse too, and he's like trying to distract his Uncle Victor. So he's trying to tell Victor, you could always just let me go or whatever. And Victor ain't trying to hear that. And he says, you're scared of me, Uncle Victor. That's why you don't want me to have freedom. Because you don't can't control me or whatever. And Victor said, okay, what is he, great nephew? Okay, I see what you said, but no, I got this all under control because Spencer's just like the only way you can get people to even love you or want to be around you is if you kidnap them or you don't have family members who just want to be loyal to you. And Victor told Spencer, don't learn the hard way about me like your father had to do. I said, oh Lord. But anyways, child, Victor Spencer ends up convincing Victor that he wants to go and have breakfast in like the dining area. He was tired of being cooped up in the room and he wants to see his brother. And so he finally agrees to it because at first he was like lunch and he was like, why we gotta wait till lunch? I want to do it now. So he finally agrees to it and he leaves, right? And Victor tells Ambrose, don't have this door unlocked again when they get on the outside. And so Spencer and Trina, they're gonna make a run for it. I guess they're gonna try to escape. He's gonna cause a distraction. Trina's gonna make a phone call to let people know where they are, whatever. And I guess that's gonna be how they try to escape, child. But somebody said in my comments, and I agree, if Trina and Spencer and them end up outsmarting Victor, and y'all telling me grown Valentine, grown Drew, Anna, All these people, they've been trying to take him down forever. And if Vic, Trina, and Spencer end up doing it, just cancel them. Take away their any kind of PI license or anything that they have, because baby, no. But anyways, guys, that was General Hospital today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you tomorrow for an all new episode of What Happened on the Soaps General Hospital Edition. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.